Totally independent. Fiercely pursuing accountability on policy and implementation. It's time for another DJ L7 candidate interview.
Hey, how's it going? It's your boy L7. Today I got a very special guest. As you know, I'm interviewing every single candidate running for every position here in New York City, and we got one of the candidates right here. So I was very happy to meet him just the other day, and I'll let him introduce himself.
How you doing? My name is Alpheus Marcus. I'm a community advocate here in New York City.
All right. So what position are you running for?
I'm running for city council here in Harlem.
Okay. So what's your, my channel is mostly related towards activism. And one thing, to tell you the truth, that I've been disappointed by some of the candidates I've interviewed so far is that I could tell that there's they have the sound bites good, they have like certain positions good, but there's no real depth to their understanding or experience. What's your activism background?
Well, where should I start?
Start from
nature.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of the issues with gun violence, crimes against elderly and women and children. Some of the issues in regards to the police and the relationship between the police department and black urban communities.
Okay. So I'll put it in two ways. First of all, I'm going to ask you, where did your activism start? Maybe that's where you're most passionate. Maybe, I don't know. But
well, I started out because what I've seen was within our communities, there's been a real disparities of treatment as well as a lack of real leadership. Okay. Like what we see even in today's time, a lot of these people want to be closer to politicians, right? And they want to force the people to like vote for these politicians, but nothing translates to the community's benefit from it. Right. So that's what made me really like being in activism, holding a lot of these elected officials as well as some of these so-called leaders accountable.
Okay. And out of the different projects that you've worked on, because I know you've worked on a bunch, that happens to us activists because a lot of these problems are interrelated.
Right. And
you just end up meeting people and you need like certain allies to work on different projects with you. So which project would you say you're the most proud of?
I think I spread myself evenly with everything, with all forms of activism, because when it's all said and done, it ties down to the root of the problems.
Okay. Well, just so you know, right, this guy doesn't just come alone. He's got a whole crew with him here. So he started like some type of, he's got people working with him. He's got an organization. Sometimes some things that we're proud of are things that, or some things that really define us are projects that we worked on over a long period of time.
Right.
That we've had to like get, that have consumed more of our resources. Because now, right, one thing that I like to say is, one person can build a house, but a team can build a pyramid. Something that, one person cannot accomplish by themselves.
Correct.
So you can surpass your own, your own ability by working with a team. So what's going on here? Well, this is unique to have, like, to walk into an interview and all of a sudden there's a team appearing, so what's that all about?
Today, you're here on the set of Truth, Powerful, and Urban Agenda.
Okay.
And this is a platform that we started to basically educate and inform the people in regards to how they should vote and how their community should be benefiting from their vote. It basically empowers the people to understand they're the ones that put these people in office. And those people there, if you don't want to work with us, we'll remove you out. And it doesn't make a difference if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Right. Who do you think is going to be, or do you know who else is running in the race, and do you know like who do you?
Oh, it's a multiple pool of people. Many of them have been a part of the system that's basically, how can I say it, has left the Harlem community into a state of, why should I vote? Voting doesn't change anything.
It changes only for a certain number of people, and the ones, those unfortunate few, that are profiting off the rest.
And some of these candidates, they don't really understand the issues.
So, as in terms of the candidates that are running, who do you think that has maybe some of the better chances of?
The district leaders, without question. You have Cordell Clare as well as William Allen that's running, and they've been heavily, inoculated within the community based off, the political affiliations.
So, what makes you a better candidate than these people who are probably like, considered to be favorites in the race?
Well, they're only favorites in the race due to the fact that, again, they're a part of the system, the machine. That's what I like to call it. Harlem is my home. I'm born and raised here in Harlem. A lot of people see the work that I do throughout the city.
Sure.
It's just not mobile, located just one area. It's throughout the city. And a lot of people within the community was like, we need you here.
I have some different positions I'm gonna ask you about, right, that are pretty I think common for the city. One of them is gonna be reopening. What's your position on reopening?
I believe we should reopen.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Because literally, like, you can't tell us the social distance, right? But yet you have the MTA where there's no social distance.
There's all kinds of hypocrisy going on here. We can see even California's like opening up restaurants so they could get their tax base, but then they're also telling people to. So it's, there's a lot of weird stuff going on there. But
the narrative's always changed.
If you want reopening, you know that this is a guy who's pro reopening. There's going to be people who say whatever, but I think what do I personally think. Really, in the end, it's up to you, right? But I think there's a strong case to be made for reopening. I think most New Yorkers want reopening, but in the end, it's up to you. Yeah. What's your position on? One interesting thing that popped up is defund the police. What's your position on that whole particular thing?
Well, let me say this here. A lot of people don't understand what defunding the police is actually about.
Okay.
I've worked with the NYPD in regards to issues between the communities.
Myself as well.
And what I've explained even to the commissioner is that I can show you why some of the money that you have it can be allocated elsewhere. Yeah. One, you have to look at the fact that crime is down. Okay. You have Rikers Island that holds anywhere from 20 to 25,000 inmates.
Yeah.
Right now, the population is a little bit over 4,000. Yeah. As of lately, before it was under 4,000, which means that you have exactly maybe 21,000 less inmates. So that means crime is down.
Okay.
So if crime is down, now what you have to do is look at, do you still need the same funds to fight when crime was up, when crime is down?
Well, the question is, what are they using the cops for, right? If the cops are there to, enforce laws, but if they're there to like collect revenues, if they're there to like give people tickets, for whatever reason, because that's what a lot of cops end up being, quotas, yeah. They want these cops to generate money. They're money generator for the city, and their unfortunate taxation, right? You take a look at the enforcement, you take a look at these billionaires who are stealing literally billions, millions of dollars on Wall Street. Where's the cops arresting their asses? Nowhere, you know what I mean? When it's time for them to collect money, they send the cops into the hood, and then they're like, time to write some tickets. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you didn't get written on a weed, you didn't get a misdemeanor, you still gotta pay this huge ass fine. Right. They still making their money, so it's just like another form of taxation. But
that on defunding, you can show why. Based off numbers.
And I do think that there's a more nuanced, and I'm glad that you're taking a more nuanced role to this. I do see like a lot of people who are just like, fresh politicians just saying yes or no, and there's no real deeper thought behind that. You have worked with the police department, you have worked with other things, right? We look at what happened in Baltimore when they defunded the police, whatever, right? And then the amount of deaths went up. You can't just, really there needs to be accountability, right? If you're just taking the money away, but you leave all the problems there, what's going to happen? All the money's going to go towards protecting the people that matter, and then we're just going to end up becoming. They're just going to remove services from us, and we're going to die.
Well, let me be more transparent. I created the NCO program as well as the Build the Block program within NYPD.
Yeah.
So when I speak, I speak to both communities.
Yeah.
Defunding the police, a lot of people, they become, it's a catchphrase that people talk about without really
It's an easy answer, and it's a lazy answer. Because you know why? Because honestly, right, is it right for each community? Right? Cops are local, right? NYPD is not federal PD. You know what I mean? So right now, it's up to the community, and the community needs to have a voice in what's going on. Yeah. That's why, right, these cops make decisions that hurt these communities because it's not their community, so they don't worry about it. Or the boss says, do this to that community. Oh, well, I'm just doing my job, Yeah. It has real consequences. So I like your answer, and I do. That's just my personal note. For the people that say yes or no.
Yeah, a lot of people are just talking just to, sound bites.
That's their simplistic understanding of the situation, right? Yeah, so I do. So those are some of the big issues. What are some of the big issues that you think New Yorkers are? There's a couple of issues that I think are big right now. Are there any of the issues that you think that maybe under?
Well, I won't know until the people actually, speak on it.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, man of the people. That's good.
What issues do you think is?
Well, the reopening is definitely a big topic. Well, one of the big things that New York City Council is because of term limits and things like that, right? There's certain things that are flipping. Now, I'm really actually happy to hear also that you have experience in NYCHA, because New York City Housing Authority is one of the biggest, and real estate is one of the biggest games that's going on as in terms of the politics and the money game that's going on here in New York City. So you're right to have mentioned that first. That's a huge target, right, for people who know what they're doing.
There's a lot of people that talk about NYCHA on the campaign trail that don't know.
I put in a lot of work with Andrew Yang's campaign for 2020, but unfortunately, I found out while working with him that the guy's completely sold out. I'm really sorry to this, and you can see if you go to my channel, you see like a lot of previous videos that are pro Yang, and it's turned the other way around. What does he know about NYCHA? He's not even from New York City. He come in like these people. I talk to other politicians. They say they want to fix welfare. Have you ever been on welfare? Do you understand what the problems are? You have no idea, right? Yes. They just talk. Yes.
One of the guys that's actually running.
Yeah.
I think his name is Sean Donovan.
Okay.
He's responsible for the actual RAD, which is rental assisted development.
Yeah.
That law, as well as the policies. These laws came into effect in 2012.
Yeah.
Which the federal government said we are no longer funding public housing.
No, there's some absolutely okay. Let's take a look at this too, right? There was a short conversation that was going on earlier, right? You have people in the projects right there, people that are low income, and you want to say that you're helping them out. What about giving these people a leg up to try to really start taking control of their lives and allow them to buy their homes at a good rate, at a fair rate, versus just selling it off to developers.
See, I like you.
The discussion was real quick about they talked about it for a minute, but guess what? Then the money came around. That discussion went right out the window.
No.
Yeah.
But let me say this here to you. Literally, 2012 public health law, which introduced RAD. There's a statute in there within the law that says the alternative from having developers, capital ventures, financial institutions involved with NYCHA to having the residents themselves
make these people owners, then they'll care about their community and they'll bring it up instead of trying to sell them a solution and saying, your solution is that I get to be the boss.
Well,
who's going to care about that?
But look, for the last 3 years, that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to introduce the HDFC program.
I've been out of the country, but however this election goes, I will be working with you on that program. I guarantee you.
I've literally been trying to get residents involved in wanting to own their own developments.
Nice.
They need that. And I have the actual chairman of NYCHA on board with that.
There we go. All right. So we're going to have other, and I really think that I haven't seen any other real, city council members have a discussion on that particular topic. I'd love to do that with you, right? Yes. We're going to actually host the first, roundtable on this particular issue, and
let's do it.
All the rest of y'all can just keep playing these mainstream media, there it is, while we talk about the things that really matter. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
No doubt. So actually, I do have some other political allies that I do work with. So I'm going to ask you about a series of those particular on those issues as well. Okay, so
let's go.
One thing that I work with is the people who work with Julian, and I just want you to be honest. Yeah, will you can you support Julian Assange? Julian Assange. He's the guy who put up WikiLeaks, and he's in jail right now.
Information is power, and if you try to censor somebody for giving out information, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly why they locked him up, because
that's wrong.
He went against the Republicans and the Democrats for yay, and then he went against the Democrats because he's like,
once one.
Yeah, and then they locked him up. So
it's always like that.
So you would support Assange?
Yeah,
that's one.
Literally, because he gives information.
Okay. The second one is, do you support UBI?
What's UBI?
Universal Basic Income.
Universal Basic Income?
Yeah.
I would have to educate myself on that and get a fair understanding.
No problem. I'll tell you just the answer to that one. That my personal take on that is it's nuanced as well. A lot of people in Yang Yang are like all pro UBI stuff like that. You can screw that up.
What you mean? You mean
Universal basic income.
Giving people.
It was an idea by Martin Luther King, right? Yeah, but the idea of universal basic income must be protected in the right way. You look at welfare, sometimes it gets twisted away in bad ways. You take a look at let's take a look at affordable housing. Yeah, affordable housing sounds like a good thing, right? Because you know how they mess it up. It's a horrible game, right? Yeah. You look in the rich communities, right? You take a look at downtown Soho stuff like that. All those rich buildings, right? Yeah. In order to qualify, they gotta have some affordable housing. I was in Newburgh for a year before. Yeah, hanging out over there. Like, you know about Newburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, high murder rate, like big environmental problems, stuff like that. They got a lot of affordable housing there too. When the people come out of the prison, they say, oh, they need to fill those houses because of the numbers. Notice how all the people coming out of the prison system end up in Newburgh where there's really no jobs, nothing. They're set up to fail, and they don't end up right in those Soho, those nice little. You call it affordable housing, but the housing system has actually become a classist system where there's one type of affordable housing and another type of affordable housing they don't talk about, and it just becomes a shuttle to drive unfairly people into controlled neighborhoods.
Well, you got to understand something. Real estate developers now have found a way how not to spend their own money to build new developments.
Yeah.
They get a grant from the federal government at 25%, which they have to make 25% affordable.
Yeah.
Now, under affordable, from a federal perspective, it has to meet the AMI.
Yeah.
AMI on a federal level is 68,000. You're not going to find that in low-income communities. This is why they get the tax incentives.
I met this beautiful lady just the other day. You know what I mean? She's a nice looking girl, yeah? She's working from home in the project. Is how much she making? 12,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 70,000 just like 60. Are you kidding me? She's way out of people.
She's making less than the federal poverty level.
You know
federal poverty level is I think 17.
I've been there too. Yeah, I'm 68. Are you kidding me? Who even dreams of that? There's a whole bunch of people that don't even dream of that shit.
Look,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Annual median income on the federal level is 68,000, but minimum wage is $7.25.
Yo, it's a joke. Yeah, whatever.
And our politicians think that's okay.
Because they not making that wage. If they making it, all of a sudden things change. Yeah. Okay. Another question. I do have a bunch of the Assange thing, the UBI thing. Okay, so that should be a nuanced approach, right? Also the bad tax and other implementations, right? Because it won't be universal, right? What happens is they'll give the corporations a break, and then it won't be universal. Yeah, you got to be watching every minute of it. Another question is going to be, okay, disability, people with disabilities. We actually got some disability stuff onto different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Working with a guy named Mark, and also Joe Charest might be working with us. We'll see. MPP, if you're still going to work with the gal or stuff, that's me. Anyways, so right now, people with disabilities make sub-minimum wage. And, that's barely living right there. It's barely, how are you even going to feed yourself? And they often have extra costs that they got to maintain. Can we try to work to get, people with disabilities at least regular minimum wage?
I don't see why not.
Okay, appreciate that.
They are people of the United States.
Yeah.
So they should qualify for minimum wage at the very least.
Well,
because they get subsidies.
Yeah. So for all the people that are watching that are in those particular groups, what my man's position is here, right here. And also what we can do is, and also just so you know for yourself, I'm actually interviewing every single candidate running for New York City position. If you have something that you want to get in front of all of them, or maybe find a way that we can build a consensus, hey man, I'm your man, dude.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. By the way, let me share the what's your social media? What's this? You say you have your own.
Truth to Power is truth, the number 2, power, number 4, and Urban Agenda at YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We'll be on iTunes soon.
I'll put the links below, definitely.
And I have the Urban Nonpartisan Club, which is a 501c4. It deals with the social welfare issues of the community, which removes party loyalty.
Yeah. And
for the community benefits, because we have to recondition ourselves to understand that we control the local elections, and especially within the urban communities, we must work that much harder to reject our agendas in both parties.
That's actually just so you know, and actually one thing that I was excited to hear this guy said. We do think alike in many ways. Every Saturday I have at 3 p.m. I have a multi-party meeting, Republicans, Democrats from across, Libertarians, Green parties, Progressive Party, National Progressive Parties should be joining as well too soon. We all get together and we see what we can agree on, right? Rather than wasting our time squabbling on stuff. Exactly.
Send me the link.
The 99% of us, right, have been ripped off by the 1%.
Yeah.
We are done for letting that happen, right? If our leaders are often too busy trying to control power for themselves. If they cannot fix it, we will come together as a base, right? This guy's a Republican. Hey, man, you sound cool as shit to me. I got no problems with that, right? Or if he's a Democrat, he's a man underneath that label.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really cool, man. Anything else you want to share with our viewers just before I sign off?
Well, I think the people itself need to understand their powers. If we control the local elections, right, we can literally control how these corporations get into politics.
You know, I like that so much. Actually, there's a local, let's take a look at that, right? A lot of people you're going to see, they're going to be angry at Trump. And I get that, right? But the thing is, Trump is an easy person because he's far away. Oh, that Trump, I'm so mad. And then there's no consequences for you, right? Yeah? It's not like Trump's going to come knocking you. I heard what you said, right? When you really battle those things in your own community, you can change the things that happen for you every day and you build, right? This guy's got a team. Oh my, I'll show it to you guys, right? You guys mind being on the camera? Sure. Yeah? Yo, check it out, yeah? Yo, guys, you mind jumping on right quick? Yo, check it out. This guy's got a team with him, you know what I mean? One guy shows up, but you don't know there's more people behind him, you know what I mean? They setting up right now, yeah? Yo, jump on the camera right now. Show the world that it's more than just one guy here, yeah? There's a bunch of them. They all hard at work, that's why. They're not slacking. Yeah. This guy runs a tight ship right here, yeah? So yeah, when you see this guy show up, you know what I mean, you don't know, but there's more people behind him, you know what I mean? So that's what's up, yeah? Respect, man, respect. All right, cool. So
Thanks, bro.
yeah, that's gonna be a really cool it's a team effort right here. You know what I mean? So yeah, really looking forward to doing more content with this community leader. I'm gonna be in this game for a long time. Yeah?
I mean, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
It's a dark day in our nation when high-level authorities will seek to use every method to silence dissent. The truth must be told.
And if you want the truth, you need to check out independent media producers just like myself, DJ L7. You should subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I release a new video.
The truth of these
We are
words
on all
is
the
beyond
major
doubt.
platforms. That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Unfortunately, we have definitely seen that these mainstream outlets will cave to corporate interests, so we encourage you to join our independently moderated communities of Reddit and Discord. We also encourage you to subscribe to us on BitChute and Dailymotion so you can see the content that YouTube doesn't want us to let you see. Hey, now it's time for the most important part of the video. That's right. It's time for us to tell you about the Taking Action Group. Do you need an activist? Or maybe there's no activists around willing to help you with your cause and you need to learn to become an activist. That's exactly why we're here. Every week we get up with people from across the nation, in fact even sometimes internationally, and we develop strategies and a game plan to address the issues that are affecting all of us. Every week myself from New York City and of course my co-host Lisa from Los Angeles provide a coast-to-coast perspective on what's going on in the country. If you want to donate to help out with expenses, travel, equipment, stuff like that, then I definitely appreciate it and you can hit us off at Venmo or PayPal. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, we also have a merch store, so check it out. Oh my goodness, it seems like you've reached the end of the video, so make sure you check out some of our other videos, make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so thanks a lot, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below if you have any questions or issues you'd like me to address. And if you're an activist, the time to make things happen is now.